Welcome back to Spoopy October. Hello, Maxwell.
How's it going?
It's going. So, Max, I broke every promise I've ever made to you, right?
That's it. You know what? I understand.
I didn't just
It's
beat
okay.
the game. I fucking 100%'d it.
That's awesome.
Fortunately, you do get a hard mode once you've beaten the main game.
Oh,
Which is
nice.
pretty tight. So,
That
spoiler
that
alert,
has some
but you know.
replayability.
But yeah, welcome back to Metroid Dread. Probably the greatest game released this year for me.
4% of items only. Wow.
This game has a fuck ton of items.
Yeah.
This
That's
game
all-
this game has items coming out the boot. I mean, it's a lot of items.
Items coming out of the items.
It's plenty of items, is what I'm saying.
Under that item
it's
is
an
another
abundance.
item.
It's a plethora of items.
I hope they do that at least once in this game. Like, I remember I don't remember it in the... I don't actually remember it in any of the other games, but I know Super Metroid would be like, here's a missile.
Uh-huh.
Oh, the Chozo's hand is fake. It's made of missiles.
This game has some very cleverly hidden items. The one and only thing I dislike are some of the Shine Spark segments. There's some really good ones, and then like some that like make you think about how to get them. But then there's other ones that are just maddening for the sake of driving you up a wall. Like, I feel like, oh shit, I forgot that guy did that. All right.
I just have to see those and
well, we're not going to do a whole bunch of them in this playthrough because, like I said, we're not going to be 100%ing it so that you have something to enjoy.
Okay. So a lot of it is like optional, get these items kind of thing. Okay, cool.
Right, maybe like one or two that I think would be fun to get. Oh, did I go the wrong way? I went the wrong way. Was I supposed to be able to...
That's a good size for a map.
Yeah,
and it has easy, like, here's your doors. Here's what you've explored and what you haven't.
You know, if what we said we wanted out of a Metroid game in 2021 was just a bigger, badder Metroid experience, this game certainly delivers in spades.
Yeah. I think for people who've played Metroid before, they really enjoy it. I really hope newcomers can find something to enjoy with this too.
Oh yeah.
And I'm thinking increasingly they definitely will. Like, I am definitely heartened and surprised, I'll admit, by the sales figures of Metroid Dread, that it's doing really good in its first week.
It makes me really happy because for the longest time, Nintendo has treated the classic Metroid games almost as like an embarrassment. You know, it's like, oh, people don't really want side-scrolling Metroid. Yeah, they fucking do.
Yeah, they do. Now you're seeing it. You know,
it's probably not going to give you the same sales numbers as Mario or Zelda.
No,
it's so
it never
fucking good. Just
it never will, and those games will just always have a more mass appeal than a game like this ever will. Like, I get that. Just like Disney movies are going to make the most money and stuff. Like,
right? Yeah. That doesn't mean that everything has to be, you know, Frozen 3 or something. You know.
No, because you are still going to make the most amount of people happy by making all of the games, you know?
Uh-huh. All right. So I'm trying to remember where in the game we are. I obviously can't go through any of these without the various suit. Down here, where I just was, I am blocked off by a red block and a door that can't open. I need to find a way to reroute the lava right here so that I can go down. I don't know how to do that.
Adam, give you a tip.
Maybe I came up here too early. That's another great thing about this game. Like I said, it doesn't necessarily hold your hand. It gives you kind of a vague objective.
Yeah.
But while you're doing it, it's all you. I mean, you just go and explore until you hit the right zone.
That's how the old games were. I mean, certainly that's how Super Metroid and the original Metroid were.
Right.
And Metroid 2, I would say, as well. But yeah, the original and Super embodied that the most.
Right.
You know, for sure. You would just be like, well, what new thing did I get? Where do I go? What wall haven't I shot?
Right.
Which was also...
And that's what you and I are about to do, because I've only played through this game once, and this is the very beginning, which is probably the part that I remember least because it's
You
been
might not
over a
remember
week and a half
everything.
since I've done it.
There was someone who was saying, like, how was I supposed to know to shoot a wall or shoot the ceiling? Which you can't make the argument, well, if you ever played a Metroid game, but you could.
Mhm.
But I think the biggest thing is that they tell you in the beginning of the game, like, hey, try shooting at things if you haven't tried that yet.
Right.
But also, the first
shoot
puzzles that they devise for you kind of show you how to do all these things. And that, hey, this is going to come up later. Remember this. That's old school design.
You just get the hell out of Dodge there.
I'm thinking about that video series Egoraptor did for like 3 episodes and then never did again. He talked about Castlevania, talked about Mega Man X.
Yes.
And that's what I'm thinking of is like you don't tell, you show.
Right.
And that's what they do in this game.
This game is very good at that. It
It's
definitely
not-
follows that old SNES kind of philosophy.
Exactly. And some people are saying, oh, they're making their games too hard, like on purpose.
That's where I wanted to go with this. People are saying that this game is too hard. It's not too hard. And like even the boss encounters, which like when you fight a boss, you're gonna lose like 3 or 4 times before you start to get their pattern fully down. And
Yeah.
okay, fuck that guy.
But
He's just at
there
bad
is a
spot.
pattern, and it's not like you're going to get unlucky, and it's like, oh my, I mean, yes, sometimes
you
you're
get
going to get unlucky. But if you're really good, it doesn't matter how much bad luck you get, you're going to win.
Right.
While if you're only kind of good, maybe you'll win or maybe you'll get unlucky,
Right.
But either way, you can never die 100% without making some mistakes.
Right. And damn it. And what is super satisfying about this game is that when you finally do get that pattern down and you and you beat the boss, like, nothing has changed. Like, it's not like you can go out and grind and level up until you have a stat advantage. It's just straight up, get good. And it feels really satisfying to do that. But at the same time, it's not the same. Okay, I guess I am going to that other place and figuring out what I did wrong. Because these are my only 2 ways to progress deeper into this map. I think I have to look for a warp point in Kataris.
Yeah, and people that have said they've gotten stuck for hours, but most of those people don't say that's a bad thing. I'm like, okay, that also makes me happy. Like,
I wouldn't say I got stuck for hours. I've been stuck like we're stuck right now. Just like retrace your steps and it's
honestly,
been a couple of nights between episodes. So
if I'd never played a Vania game in my life, never played a Metroid game, or even just that in my life, I might get stuck for a while. But I have played Metroid games, so I know a few things.
I have to remember that this isn't the favorite series of everybody who's coming into it. It's just something that they kind of enjoy. So yeah, you're right. You can absolutely
the sales figures do make me happy, and I think I was probably a little cynical, like, oh, it's so good of Nintendo to make this game, even though it's probably not going to make them that much money. And true, it's not going to make them Zelda money. It's not going to make them Mario Kart money.
No,
but
it's going to make them some money.
It's going to make them some money, and it's already shown that, and that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, the Switch is just everything. Every
let's
series
face
that's
it,
coming
Nintendo
out on the
is all
Switch,
about the fucking money these days.
Yeah. The best-selling Animal Crossing game, the best-selling Metroid game now, and now here's the best-selling Zelda game.
The Switch is just a good fucking system. I love Nintendo's games, but I fully acknowledge that as a company, they're basically like, the Facebook of the gaming world. They are absolutely going to make the shrewdest business decisions in any given scenario, but I guess I can't really fault them for that because they still make enjoyable games. Where I get kind of angry with them is when they kind of do some anti-consumer or anti-fan behavior. I would say that's not the majority of their interactions, but when it pops up, it's kind of frustrating to see because you want them to respect the fan community a little bit, but like I said, they are far more concerned with preserving their intellectual properties than they are
and part of that
in a meaningful way with their fan base.
It's like, I'm not saying you have to tolerate every fan project.
No, because some of it is straight up piracy, but other times it's just like, hey, I love this property, it meant a lot of me, it meant a lot to me as a kid, here's my tribute to it, and they're like, no, fucking shut that down. You can't put Mario's face on that.
Like they're on it immediately.
Right.
And anytime it gets off the source page and becomes public and gets
like,
off
hey,
the chat channels.
we noticed the main character of your not-for-profit fan game is wearing a red hat. You need to knock that right the fuck off. Like, Jesus.
Yeah, then there's the ones like, I don't know, Pokemon Uranium or something, where it's like, hey, this is one, I think they started charging for it at some point, and two, it's like, this is literally, you're just using our assets.
That I can legit see, you know, like, There I'm on Nintendo's side. Like,
so I am too, because it's like people might mistake this for an actual new Pokemon game from Nintendo.
You do not have the right to capitalize on something you did not invent. That's not just true of the big, giant, mega conglomerates like Nintendo. Like, you know, there's lots of times where the shoe's on the other foot. It's the big corporations stealing ideas from the little guy, and we don't tolerate that. Why should we tolerate it the other way?
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
Oh yeah.
It's. I think difficulty. When I was like a teenager and a young adult, I was kind of thinking, and I'm so happy to be wrong, that you know what, games are not going to be difficult anymore. You are going to have your few here and there. They're going to be specialty games. They're going to be indies.
Damn,
and there's always going to be that audience a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, they just want to make games more accessible. And in order to do that, they're going to sacrifice difficulty. And I think they do want to make games more accessible, but more and more, I think most things were getting a little easier. And then you have things like Demon Souls, Dark Souls, you know, and now a whole bunch of other games in that same line. And then you got things like Hollow Knight, Celeste, and some other indies coming out that people love. They have pretty big fan bases. They might not be the most popular games out there, but games that are difficult, and then even some games that are punishingly difficult, are becoming more and more popular.
Yeah,
and it's like people have a big sense of
accomplishment. There's a time and a place for that, right? I would not classify this game as punishingly difficult. It is. Yeah. It is old school difficult, but it is not like so maddening that you like the purpose of the boss fights is, you know, to like make you smash your controller. That is not this. It is not a Dark Souls clone.
It's not supposed to feel like you overcame some almost impossible task and brag about it to everyone.
It's more like It's more like you learned the pattern and, oh, that door was open. I am stupid. There was my
And I'm
problem.
not knocking that at all. I mean, as far as the Dark Souls and here's the lava thing. Okay, you figured it out.
We just wasted 10 minutes just because I didn't realize the door was open and not shut.
I think it's also very distracting. If I was at the helm of a game I'd only played once before, I'd probably be a little like wait, what? Shut up. Let me figure this out. But, don't agree with me.
No, wait a tick. Once again,
you just go back, right? Wait.
Oh, yeah, except now this door is shut. Hold on. I'm missing something stupidly obvious. Okay, I just activated that. That door opened. This door below me where I came in closed, so I have so few things available to me that.
Well, you can turn it back, right?
No.
Oh, you can't. Okay. Well,
no.
Then
so there's got to be a really stupid, obvious way out of. There it is.
There it is.
Thank you.
That's
common
Metroid.
sense.
But yeah, the game is not punishingly difficult, and it's not supposed to be. And you say old school difficulty, and I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
But it's like old school difficulty, but even better.
Yeah, like, and actually, I should clarify. I would say it's Super NES difficulty, not NES difficulty.
Yeah.
Because there's a fine line.
That's
there
true.
Ever was
but even with it, like you said in this game, when you die, they don't take you back to the save point, do you?
No, they give you a checkpoint in the previous room, which is nice.
Yeah, and that's like so difficult.
You have to try again and again, but you get to do it immediately.
Exactly. And that's not lessening the difficulty. That's just getting rid of tedium.
Right.
It was never difficult back in the day to get back to where you were at.
And I think that's part of the NES era of difficulty was tedium.
Yeah.
Like, if you died at the final boss in Ninja Gaiden and you didn't have any continues, guess what? Level fucking 1.
Go back to level 1.
Before you get to try that boss fight again. And it doesn't matter if you started to get his pattern down, you're going to spend the next hour and a half to 2 hours forgetting that pattern. So, good luck.
And I'm not going to shit on people that like that and say, hey, you know what? Those are good old days, blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, sure, whatever.
Yeah,
bragging rights.
You certainly felt accomplished, but it wasn't necessarily the brilliance of the developer. We just didn't know or didn't have the means to incorporate a better way of doing it at that time.
Yeah, and it's like, hey, this thing is just punishing. It's grueling.
Yeah.
But that part of getting back to where you're at, that's not difficulty. That's
No.
again just tedium.
And
the only
people
difficult part about it
misinterpret
is fighting. It's fighting against yourself.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
okay, I'm getting bored of your game now. Like,
Which is why, even in the NES, classic thing on the Switch or in the classic consoles that got released, they still incorporated a quick save or save state function because it's only reasonable. You know,
Yeah.
It's something that should have been present there originally had they the means to do it in 1989. You know.
Yeah, and there is something to be said about, you know, the quarters and everything, and I think there's also something to be said, like, the reason they did that is because making games is hard.
Yeah.
It always has been, and especially with
Yeah.
small teams back then, they had to make them quote-unquote longer
Right.
by making you do the same thing over and over
Exactly. Yep.
to get good at it.
Right,
But it's
because,
like, you don't
because
have to
the
do that
memory
anymore.
cartridge couldn't store the memory on the cartridge couldn't store 6 more levels. You know, it's
Yeah.
you had to get the
So-
most out of the 5 levels that you already had.
Yeah. Once you were really, really good at these games and you mastered these games, they were not long games.
No.
Like, the NES ones, they were only long because they were fucking Battletoads or Ninja Gaiden. But if you were truly that good, these were short-ass games.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Once you actually got good at the original Super Mario Brothers game, people forget that's like a 35-minute game.
Yeah, like how many scrolling screens are there in that game, really?
Right.
And then you look at a game like this, difficult, yes, but look how much speed you have.
Right.
How big the maps have to be to accommodate that.
Yeah. There's reason.
Nothing artificial.
There's a
about the
reason that a lot of the changes that we've seen in gaming over the last 30 years are called quality of life improvements, because
Exactly.
they're just that. They improve the overall quality and accessibility of the game.
Yeah, and that doesn't make, again, this is not a punishing game, but that quality of life does not make this game any less difficult. Doesn't make a game like
No.
Celeste any less difficult.
Right.
It's just the true difficulty. You
Right.
know?
Like this game would be substantially harder without save points. It wouldn't be better though.
No. And it
Sure
wouldn't be
shit
like,
would not
I'm
be
such
better.
a better gamer for doing this. Maybe it's either I'm more patient or I have more free time.
Right.
You know,
yeah.
that doesn't necessarily translate to I'm just such a
And
much better
and as an
Metroid
adult,
player.
I'm truly glad that they take these steps to put these kind of quality features into these games now, where I can access it and pick it back up, you know, the next day or the next week, and not
Yeah.
be completely in the dark.
Yeah,
You know,
for
because
sure.
there's some work weeks out of the year where I straight up don't have the option to pick up my controller and play, and so
I can imagine.
I've
Yeah.
got to straight up put it down for 3 days at a time, and it's nice to be able to come back and do what I just did, and you know, be able to check the map, check the mission log, and get reoriented.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I'm not gonna say, oh, people are wrong, but it is kind of, it sucks to see people saying like this Metroid Dread, you know, this game has bad game design. If I can't figure out your puzzles this quickly, or if I had to shoot something, it's like, it's really good game design. This is like,
Yeah, this is hella
old
good
school-
game design.
how hard it is. Much harder to show and not tell than it is to just be like, here's a tutorial, here's some words. Anyone can do that. That's
Right.
easy, you know. But to smartly make people feel like I figured this shit out, but you're just nudging them a little bit,
Right.
you know, that's good game design, and Nintendo knows how to
absolutely.
fucking do it.
Woo! We got
Nice.
him.
So
Don't know
yeah,
what that
I think
sound
this-
was, but
I think it's great. I think it's great level design, great game design.
Yeah.
You know, they know how to do it. Because guess what? I've played some bad Metroidvanias.
oh yeah.
It's not easy to make these games.
No, despite
make
how
it
many
good
of them
one.
there are, I really feel like the good ones are all labors of love, because it can be real easy
Yeah.
to just be like, I'm gonna make the most convoluted and, you know, cryptic map ever, and that'll be a good Metroidvania. And no, not really.
Yeah. But yeah,
There we
it is. Despite that, it is doing well if
Yeah.
you compare it to the other Metroid games. outsold like the lifetime sales
Right.
of pretty much any Metro game except for maybe the first Prime.
Yeah,
and it's going to overtake that.
That's the downside, because I really, really liked Metroid Prime, but I feel like the lesson that Nintendo learned for that, and the reason that we didn't get this game back in like 2008, was because Nintendo was convinced that the only successful Metroid games were going to be their first-person shooter ones.
Yeah, and that's really sad. And maybe they just didn't have enough teams.
And I also feel like it was kind of... Metroid shot itself in the foot a little bit by being... As much as I loved Metroid Fusion, I feel like they shot themselves in the foot in making it portable. Because, you know...
That's an interesting take.
Yeah, even though the GBA was wildly successful, I mean... I don't know. There's something, especially in that era, where you couldn't have, you know, dazzling top-of-the-line 3D graphics on your portable system. So, like, Metroid Prime felt like a much more epic experience, and as a result, it sold better. So,
and Fusion was the B game.
Yeah, Fusion felt like the B game, so naturally it didn't sell as well.
And it was like, oh, you have the portable system. Here's the portable game,
right? Which back then meant the watered down version.
Yes, back then definitely indie games were not a thing. This was just the worst version.
Yeah, right.
It wasn't, but that's what people thought.
Right, and at that point too, like gaming culturally was at this place where, like, you know, 2D is a relic of the past, and all of the best stuff is now in 3D, right? Like,
and this is 3D, the only way it's going to go.
3D is serious gaming, 2D is, you know, old kiddie stuff. And
it seems weird, but I thought that too. I didn't think it was kiddie stuff. I thought, well, I guess this is how it's going to go.
Yeah, right.
Like, this is just how the industry's going to go, and that was kind of sad. And glad I'm wrong.
Yeah, because now we've had this renaissance where, like, this game is a prime example. It has beautiful graphics, and the graphics are in 3D, but it is a 2D side-scroller overall, and it's, you know, it's just cool to see it return to prominence like that, to a point where a game like this can sell extremely well, and not just, like, well for a portable game or well for a 2D game. Like, it's doing great.
It's doing good.
That makes me very happy.
Love to see it happen.
Indeed.
Now, what the fuck you gotta do?
Oh no! Oh no! I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Oh my god.
I know, these parts are intense.
It zooms in on you and
it does.
Holy shit.
Oh, dear sweet mother of God.
Oh my god.
If he climbs on the ceiling, I'm actually fucked.
And it's just running out. Oh, dude, okay. Oh, that's awesome. Just enough where it's not like this is not the whole game.
Right.
But it'll freak you the fuck out.
Right, because if this had been the whole game, it would have gotten tiresome. But, like, I love... It would have felt like a 2D stealth game, which it's not.
And it's like Super Metroid put in just enough of the little scares too. You have that the mini boss of the fake Norfair.
Yeah,
that turns into a skeleton.
Right.
Like
go figure. This mechanic actually creates a sense of dread because they don't overuse it. You like actually dread the parts where it's coming up because no matter how strong you are, you're vulnerable again.
Yeah, those Emmys, is that what they're called?
Yep.
They're fucking terrifying.
They are.
They're crazy.
You're right. They have kind of that body horror thing going on, and
but yeah, like you said, if that was the whole game, then you would have to get used to it,
right?
You know, and it wouldn't.
As a mechanic, like any stealth mechanic in a game that is not, you know, designed to be a stealth game, like, it outstays its welcome eventually. This one doesn't.
Yes.
They do it just enough.
Yeah, some sooner than others, because at least with this, there's also the running aspect too, where you can get away. And Samus is definitely nimble, but you can't half-ass it.
And those actually make for the most tense parts of the entire encounter, is when you do get spotted, because then it's like, holy shit, I've got to parkour my way far and fast out of here, and You're directly rewarded for having mastery over the controls at that point.
Yeah, so the gameplay definitely lends, strength to that. Where you have a game like Spider-Man, it was that look at what you're doing, swinging around. That was not meant to be a stealth game ever, so it was a crappy one when it needed to be. When they were doing stealth, it's just like I'm just gonna crouch and people really are deaf, huh?
Yeah, right. Okay, that's cool.
Now I'm not talking about the takedown missions. I'm talking about like Miles and Mary Jane crouching down and stuff.
Right. I know
the takedowns were fun. That was fun.
Oh yeah, well because that wasn't even stealth. It was Predator gameplay.
That was just Predator. Exactly. Yeah. That's a whole new thing. Arkham invented.
I actually credit the Arkham. Most people would credit the Arkham series with inventing that term. Like Predator gameplay became a thing because it was stealth. You were remaining hidden. But at the same time, you weren't remaining hidden so that you wouldn't get hurt. You were looking for the most creative ways to take down everyone without creating a scene that would put you or the hostages at a disadvantage, right?
Yeah.
It was very tactical. And then Spider-Man, weirdly enough, found a way to do even that in a more robust way than the Arkham games. That is amazing to me, how good both Marvel Spider-Man and Miles Morales ended up being, because they really are, for lack of a better term, clones of the Arkham game. Like, swing mechanics aside, the bare essentials of the combat and the movement and the Predator aspects, those are lifted directly from the Arkham games.
Yeah,
but they're better in every way.
Oh yeah, and it's kind of like when you
I love the
Arkham
games.
Did, it's kind of like Mario, and it's like, well, this is if we're gonna make a game like this is the
way.
blueprint. Can we really fundamentally change it for the better? Probably not, but can we improve upon it and add our own things?
Get hit.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh
yeah.
No!
Oh shit!
I knew that was coming.
Oh. Run away, not today.
Run away, do do do. Run away, do 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 do. Run away, do 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 do. Run away. Fucking Emmys. Boy, that little like sidekick robot he has up there is an asshole.
This cookie place I got cookies from because I was in the mood for cookies for no reason. Really knew what I needed because they also had Red Bull. And it's like, oh, you guys, you know exactly what I need. This is before I hopped on for Castlevania. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna after I eat all my cookies, I'm gonna want some Red Bull. These were deep dish cookies.
Oh my god.
Looking right at your ass. Oh my god.
Alright, so there's got to be a way that I can lure them up here.
Oh yeah. I love that it zooms in because it's just like, well, you're not going to know where he's coming from. And all of a sudden he'll just drop down from nowhere, it almost looks like.
Mm-hmm. Alright, I got to think about this part a little bit. Damn it! Nope.
Shit.
Nope. You know what?
Ooh,
I'm going for it.
That was so close.
I don't even care. Yes, okay.
God, need more
nothing
of those things.
Ventured,
well,
nothing
rewarded
gained,
for
right?
it.
Now we get a map.
Also, I wasn't really paying attention. These don't act as teleport spots or anything, I'm assuming?
No. There are teleports, but these aren't it.
These aren't it. Yeah, otherwise you'd be zapping all over the map.
Right. There are actually, though, a lot of ways to get around the map. It's really cool. Yeah. And there's a neat mechanic, too, where, like, once you find every... so, like, right now, the teleport points are color-coded. Like, blue goes to the other blue, red goes to the other red. But once you unlock all of the teleports, you can go to any one at any time. So,
Oh,
so
nice.
it basically just makes it, again, a quality of life feature that makes it easier to collect all of the collectibles in the end game.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't have to do it that way. They could have left it so that you just have to memorize the whole map and learn to get around, depending on what teleport is open. But they didn't. And I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're getting close to the part where we can kill this enemy. Yeah. Ooh. Fire.
Fire bad.
Fire bad.
Ooh, is that an energy tank?
That's an energy tank.
Yeah. Was that another secret energy tank?
Yes. Well, okay, so here's another thing that this game does that the other Metroids have not done. There are energy tanks, which instantly increase your health by 100. And then there's also energy parts, which are, just think Zelda heart pieces. You have to collect 4 of them to create a full energy tank. And it's just another way to put in more collectibles and get you to explore the map more.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm sure there's people who will complain about them. I love it. I think it's cool.
Oh, no, exactly, because it's like, you could be going through the game kind of straight, not straying too much, and people halfway through the game could have different energy tanks, but they're still collecting all the main ones, you know? And someone might have 1 or 2 more because they just explore absolutely everything while they're on their way.
Totes my goats. Let's see here.
Yeah, that's definitely cool. Because otherwise, it's like, yeah, there was hidden energy tanks. Yeah, that's true. So I think about it, it's like, okay, that is true.
He's in the room with me. I'm gonna do the thing though again where I try to lead him.
Yeah.
Oops. Okay, so let's see here. I was just right there, and I drained the lava down here, so I need to get down into this area. And to do that, I have to get the spazer. I also have to get it to open that door. I've got to go...
Oh, that's what those 3 buttons were.
I'm thinking right here is where I've got to be.
Okay.
So come on, come get me.
Oh, I never would have thought of that for the spazer.
Yeah, it's a 3-pronged door that can only be opened with the spazer.
Yeah. It's like, spazer was definitely... I think most of the weapons were optional and super, other than like wave and plasma. Or no, plasma was optional too. Wave and freeze.
This game also does kind of a cool thing, which is it plays with the order that you get the beams in, so that like the wave beam is actually the end game beam.
Oh, nice.
Well, yeah, it goes through things. Once you understand why, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. You can shoot enemies through fucking walls.
Yeah,
That's
awesome.
Makes it hella broken in some parts. I mean, not so broken that you're invincible, because by the time you get it, you know, you're basically just down to, like, the end game boss encounters. It's basically your reward to make all of the basic enemies your bitches, you know?
Yeah, it's just like, hey, just go through this quicker.
Right. And start collecting items. Like that's what they do in the final parts of this game. It's just, you know, go collecting.
Yeah, and hey, that's how Metroid has always been. Right. Is you become a fucking powerhouse by the end of this, you know?
This game, I will say one thing that it does is, like you've noticed, we're an hour and a half in, we still don't have the morph ball. It gets you off to kind of a slower start to kind of create that sense of being somewhat helpless, but then by the time, when you're roughly 2/3 of the way through the game, and they really do start piling on the power-ups, then you feel like a freaking god, because you earned it.
And I do have to say, you got to play Blind Florist.
Blind Florist.
Blind Florist. That's good. That's an interesting
Ori
one.
and the Blind Florist. It's just
that seems
Ori
destined to be 99 cents on the eShop.
Right. That seems like an Apple game, doesn't it? You know, it's like super, you know, like ableist. You know, you're just
exactly.
Yeah, there's an energy part. Yeah,
nice.
It's designed to make you appreciate more what it's like to be a blind person living in, you know, a conservative metropolis.
Oh my gosh. I was gonna say, like, Will-O-the-Wisps is definitely a game that it's like, it kind of does start off slow. You even like don't have a melee weapon for a while. And it's like, oh, it's gonna be like this, huh? And eventually, and it takes about a full halfway at least through the game before it's just like, oh, all these little power-ups that were stupid. Like, the power-ups you get are just like, hey, an enemy shoots a little beam at you, like they all do, and you can bounce off of it to project yourself like an inch higher. It's like,
oh, nice.
Okay, so that'll help me in this one part, but otherwise it's kind of useless. It's like, no. Once you start combining it with the main character just gets a little more powerful, definitely in increments. Yeah. There's not a whole lot of power-ups that feel like, oh my god, a screw attack, you know? But it's like halfway through the game, and it's like, oh, yeah, I'm just a lot more mobile than I used to be.
Oh, right.
Like,
dude, that kind of reminded
flipping
me.
all over.
What's up? What you were saying kind of reminded me, like bouncing off of projectiles. Once Spoopy October is done and we actually finish some of our backlog projects,
yeah,
you and I really need to fucking play Cuphead together.
Oh, Cuphead. Okay. Yeah, for sure.
There's a punishingly difficult game, but you know, one that is also fair because as soon as you die, you jump right back into the fight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I sometimes forget they have that parry mechanic with, like, anything pink, right?
Right. That's like the main mechanic. Like, that's how you live.
But it also looks like it's a mechanic you don't ever have to use, but you're dumb if you don't.
If you don't,
like...
yeah, right? Like, why wouldn't you? We're back on track here. We're going to kill this Emmy for sure. And it feels so good to kill an Emmy because then like, you know, so much of the map opens up to you for this section.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
just take your time.
Right, not only can you take your time, but you start to get to, even though you don't have all the power-ups yet, you can go and start getting a couple of collectibles and things like that. Yeah, like, Emmys are kind of like the big mile markers for this game.
You start to slowly build yourself up.
Right. Nope, we think.
And same as... I haven't spoiled myself, but I don't mind you spoiling me. Do you? Is there just the one other suit, Varia, or is there like another suit?
Oh no, you got Gravity.
Oh sweet, okay.
Yep. It's the classic 3 power suit. I
was about to say because I think I saw
Gravity.
from like, I think there's a water world like.
Oh yeah.
And that's good, yeah.
Oh yeah, there is indeed a water world, and boy, like it's kind of like, you know how like in Super Metroid, you weren't supposed to go to Meridia until you had the gravity suit.
But you could.
You could. And it was like super hard to navigate. This game actually forces you into the water world before you get the gravity suit. And like,
oh, nice.
It's probably a solid like half-hour, 40-minute sequence where you're just like finding creative ways to navigate this place, knowing that the gravity suit has to be close, but not getting it until like they really build that sense of tension.
Yeah, and that's cool. So yeah, for new players, it's just like, oh my god, this is a slog, and then they get it unexpectedly.
Yeah, and it's like,
and it's just like, holy shit. And for older players, it's just like, fucking come on, I know it's around. You just give it to me.
Fucking
and then they do. It's like, all right.
Oh, these things. These guys suck. For a little while.
Oh, wow. I'll take 3 missiles to the face.
Yeah, little cannon boys. Alright, I'm back at a place where I'm doing something.
That sounds like a rootin' tootin' militia or something.
Right? Cannon boys.
Cannon boys.
Cannon boys.
Or maybe just like a group of obese divers, I don't know.
Oh, God. Cannon boys.
I'm reminded of your first Chubby adventures. Holy shit.
Oh my god, I had not thought about those in 20 years, my friend. God, I was a jerk. Why would I write something like that? Because I was.
Our willingness to go back into this shit when we were real little is never going to garner us a huge fan base.
Well, the hilarious thing about Chubby Adventures was it was basically just me, and like. But like I would make him do like so Chubby Adventures for our 0 viewers were a series of like little comic books that I wrote in like the 3rd and 4th grade instead of doing my homework. Mm-hmm. And they starred this chubby kid who just did horrible things. Like he was basically like Eric Cartman before Eric Cartman existed, but it was which is a weird way of saying that I am the original Eric Cartman. Where's my money, Matt Parker and Trey Stone?
The very first, it's like you ran with it, and yet the very first one was just him dying. Jumping into a pool.
That's right, he died at the end of the first one, but then I just brought him back for no reason.
You just brought him back, yeah, and then became just bigger and more comical.
Yeah, like he started off kind of like moderately proportioned, but then like the running joke became like, how big can he get?
How ridiculous is this comic gonna be?
Right?
What are we gonna draw him to scale next to?
Yeah, right. Well, I think I had one where he ate the world, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. But it was just because I still fucking remember the comic, like panel for panel.
You do, because I don't, man. This
oh
is,
my god,
like this is like reactivating a part of my brain that has been dormant for 2 decades.
a little while.
Yeah,
activating your
you ever get one
there.
of those experiences, like you smell something that takes you back to your grandmother's kitchen or something like that? Yeah,
something that obviously you know is there, but you haven't thought about in so long.
Right, like my brain had long since, you know, what's the Disney movie or the Pixar movie with
Ratatouille.
No, with the emotions.
Oh shit! I didn't even realize you were low on health.
Yep.
Yeah, I get to see the death animation though.
You did.
What the fuck is it called?
Inside Out.
Inside
yeah.
Out.
Like you just like brought one of my Fizbos back to life, man.
Right.
Fucking
that is
Fizbo.
just like, oh yeah, this is a part of me, like a feeling you haven't felt in years.
That's exactly right. Like, why did I write this?
Yeah,
but you know, part of it probably just helped me be a better creative writer.
I'm gonna do a flip, and then for no reason, this is not how pools work, and certainly not this quickly. But it's just two men. Someone says, "Lit out the water," and the other guy goes, "Right on."
Right. That's right. Oh my god. Dude, I'm so glad you remembered this in a weird
and then
way.
You basically, I have a picture of it somewhere, I swear. Like, because you found it like 10 years ago or something, and so I took a picture when you sent it to me. Yeah.
No way.
Either that or I have it.
You must have it. I had to have sent you something different. I remember. I think I remember the event from 10 years ago that you're referencing, where I cleaned out some stuff for my mom.
In
my
Santa
old
card
room there.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't recall. I think I would have. That 10 years is recent enough where I think I would have remembered stumbling upon Chubby Adventures.
Chubby Adventures? Okay.
Yeah. Like I said,
then I have it.
This is reactivating something again.
Lit out the water. The other guy just goes right on. And he has like this big crank switch or something.
I can almost remember the animation. Like
yes,
like
you made
it
it
very
look like
crude
Mortal
drawing.
Kombat 2.
I wasn't very good in the 3rd grade.
Well,
but...
I remember how it looked, but then when he was falling to his death, it's like the Pit 2 from Mortal Kombat 2.
Yeah,
when it's just like, oh.
That's right. Oh my god, dude!
And you even wrote fatality.
Fatality. That's right.
Panel.
Oh shit!
Oh, it's so stupid. It was so good.
It was stupid. I think that was the. Well, no, that wasn't the point. I don't know what the point was.
They drained it in half a second.
I wasn't self-aware enough to realize, one, that I was writing a character based on me, but then two, that all of these references were like this self-deprecating form of irony that I wasn't capable of at age 8. You know, it's
not to put it. Yeah. Couldn't put it into words quite yet. Oh, nice.
Oh, it's not called the Spazer. It's called the Wide Beam.
Wide Beam.
Don't know why.
Ugh.
It's essentially the Spazer. It's because the Spazer is the one that does the 3 prongs, right?
Yeah, that's definitely Spazer.
Yeah, it's Spazer. Call it the fucking Spazer.
Just call a Spazer a Spazer.
Call a Spazer a Spazer. It is nice to get your first beam upgrade and feel like, you know, not totally weak.
Oh, yeah. And this is how it should be. Right in the same room, it is now impossible to get out.
Right.
Without the new toy you just got. Like, yeah.
Damn it. Oh!
Oh, shit.
Like I said, those guys are annoying as fuck.
Yeah.
Oh! Why aren't you dead? Jiminy Christmas. Alright, now we can do that. This game is also really good about you get the weapons and like you or the items, and like you said, immediately you have to use them to progress. But then maybe you don't use them for a little while, but then they bring them back like an hour or 2 later, and it's like, oh shit, that's right. And they like build on top of each other.
like fuck, I can do this, and then you realize how much you can do.
So it's like, you know, you use the plasma plus the super dash to get through this area, and oh wow, okay, so it's like a creative chain of puzzles. It's cool.
Yeah. Ooh.
Let's go
It's a
back
fun
and
little thing.
Yes, it is. And that's the other thing too, is like when you get back to like a save point or something, you can usually open up a shortcut so that you don't have to retread that entire big portion of map over again.
Nice.
Yes. Oh, I'm gonna go for it. Once again, the screw attack in this game is like fucking. Ew! Whoa! Didn't know that was there. Oh god. Nope.
Damn.
I failed. The screw attack is like game ending though. Like it kills everything. Except Emmys.
Except Emmys.
Except Emmys.
That'd be a little broken, but
yeah,
it's always a little broken, you know.
That wouldn't be very fun. Well, at least he's chasing me up this way, which is the way that I have to go. Oh wait, no, it's not. Where do I have to go?
Oh, nice.
Where do I have to go? I guess over here somewhere? What was the point of... Okay, that was just a shortcut to get me to the save. I've got to go... I'm thinking somewhere over here? That's an Emmy access point.
There's dark stuff. I guess the room to the left, there's all that dark stuff.
Yeah,
if there's
all that
little
dark stuff.
There's a choso up there with a
no!
something.
Oh no!
Oh shit!
I fucked up.
Do it.
Ugh. Yeah, like I said, those are unforgiving.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. Maybe I'm not.
Also,
actually, I think I'm not supposed to double back into this zone right now.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm supposed to use this. I'm supposed to go back to Kataris and use this to open a couple of these things. That's what I'm supposed to do.
Okay. Yeah, and you did encounter one of those phaser doors, like, in a totally different area.
Oh, yeah.
At least one that I can remember.
I love how well, though, this game just, like, sets up all of these things. That you know, it's kind of cool for, like, fans of the series that look at this icon and know that it's the speed dash.
Oh, yeah, right?
But then, like, people who've never played a Metroid game before have to be like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
With all these weird tiles.
Thinking they're gonna forget it.
I would kind of love to see the person who is playing this as their first Metroid game.
Right? I'm sure there's a lot of Twitch streamers out there who are like that.
Because for me, it was about a 10-hour game, and that was collecting everything, you know?
Yeah.
But, like, when I look on the internet and I was really curious to see how long this game was, so I looked at how long to beat. And right before I booted it up for the first time, and it said early reviews and early players are all saying that it takes about 15 hours to beat and 18 to 20 to collect everything.
Interesting.
And you just saw my save file. I'm at close to 12 hours and I'm at 100%.
Yeah.
And so, you know, clearly I know Metroid well enough that, you know, some things that are not super obvious to people who are new to this are fairly obvious to me. And that's not me being a genius by any stretch. It's just I've played a lot of Metroid.
Yeah. You're most of the puzzles you're having a much easier time with.
So the game actively rewards you for having played other Metroid games. I want to see what it's like for the person who that is not the case. Ooh, you almost got me. There we go.
These enemies are interesting, having to slide under them or having to shoot once and then missiles, and if you want to like beat them efficiently.
Enemies are super interesting. I think I'm supposed to go take out... Yeah, I'm supposed to go over here and take out that boy, because there's that door. Yep.
Okay. Oh, I think that's probably the door I was thinking of.
Yep, I'm going to go take out an Emmy. Now, the question is the Emmy in this room with me? It's such a big room.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, God. Oh, God. I'm booking it. I'm booking it. Fuck you, Emmy. Oh, he's here. Oh, he's here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna hide from him. I'm gonna try to hide from him. If he stands on his hind legs, I'm fucked.
Oh. Oh.
Woo!
Oh.
Oh no!
Nice.
I didn't need to slide through that door, but at the same time, I totally needed to slide through that door. This game also,
I like.
You haven't seen many yet, but this game has a ton of bosses too.
Yeah.
There's like ones like this in the Emmys that repeat, but then there's like some really super unique ones that I really feel like are the best the series has had since, like I said, Super Metroid.
Nice.
Like when you think of Super Metroid, you can remember each individual boss and how to beat them, right? Like it's kind of the same for this one. Like I can't say that about like Zero Mission or Fusion, because like Fusion did that weird thing where they just did like, because of the X parasites, they just made bigger versions of common enemies.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't feel like they were super creative. Fusion, I mean, you had Ridley and Kraid, which are the classics.
Yeah.
But other than that, like I don't remember. I do remember the big centipede at the very beginning of the game.
Yeah.
But I'm struggling to recall the others.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, like...
Alright, which way is he going to come at me? This way.
Yeah, what the fuck else was
Pick
there?
your fucking... Oh! Aim, Chris. Nope!
Wow.
They are bullet sponges.
He was getting red hot.
He's about to get red hot again. Oh, come... Oh, I got him. Okay.
Oh!
Ooh, nope. I don't got him. Oh, no! Oh. Damn. All right, we can do better than that.
I am making an assumption on where the what do you call it?
I would have had him too, but I fucking missed.
The melee part is when he shines, and from the few times I've seen you go down, it does seem like it's randomized when he shines.
A little bit, and part of it I think is like it's a little bit. There's probably like 3 or 4 different animations, and the game plays with you a little bit.
Yeah.
Because
Rock, paper,
after a
scissors
certain
almost.
point, you know, you do it enough times and you can predict, but you see me doing it at different times.
Yeah.
And it's not just because it's fast, it's because it's hard to predict. There we go.
Nice.
It is legit hard to predict when he's going to do it, which to me says they've programmed 3 or 4 different animations for when he can actually release the needle.
All just a little different.
Yeah,
and,
or different enough that you can't memorize it and get it every time.
And seeing as how he did it like literally a 1/6 of a second
Got the
before
morph ball,
it
baby.
said game over,
Yeah.
that you got to be lightning quick.
Oh yeah. Because that game over screen is already fucking loaded. It's ready.
It's already just give it a reason not to load.
It's
but you
ready to
won't.
go. You know?
Probably won't find one.
The game knows this was not going to be one of your times. All right, so we got the morph ball, and we can access all kinds of things.
That's
now.
gonna access it a lot.
Like for instance, a missile.
Oh,
tank.
nice. Okay, you don't have to. You can climb into those. That's good to know, because I might have been a little weird with that one. Like,
yeah, you would think you needed like the spider ball or something.
Yeah. The slide is still serviceable.
Yes, the slide is actually super necessary throughout the entire game. It's so like in Metroid, Samus Returns for the DS, they added the counter move, In this one, they add the slide, and and both are like super necessary throughout the entire experience.
The slide's great, and it definitely again plays into the escape mechanic too. When you need to do that.
It just serves to make Samus even more mobile.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Where it looks like most places you would need the morph ball that you can actually slide, and it's just for those few places that they're like, okay, but you need this to advance.
Right.
That they put it there.
Got it. I almost set us back another like 10 minutes.
Well, what? Really?
Yeah. I would have been wandering around looking where to go, but something in my brain told me, nope. You remember this part, Chris.
You're starting to learn it.
Yeah.
The graphics in this game, I mean, they haven't wowed me, obviously. It's not like they're supposed to be great graphics. But I'm seeing little bits in certain rooms. And like when you were fighting that last boss, not the Emmy, but the one that,
Yep.
what you call it? The droid, basically, or the
eyeball
with the fire
thing.
rings and all that. Yeah, the eyeball. The eyeball in the brain. The little Andros. I'm starting to see that. I'm wondering if these later stages are gonna look pretty nice. Because I could see the color and just like the aesthetic they got going a little bit, and I didn't see too much of that in the mechanical,
Well, you know how I said
here?
like the first part of this game, like you're in like an abandoned industrial complex A, B, and C.
Yeah.
About at this point in the game, we're gonna start getting to some more organic looking environments, and I think that's where it really shines. When you feel like you're more on an alien planet instead of an alien warehouse.
Yeah.
That is one of the few like nitpicks I have about this game, is that they recycle the industrial look a bit too much in the early portions of the game, but they do eventually come around.
Yeah.
I mean, it's meant to look like a populated and it's like the opposite of Planet Zebes. Like whereas Zebes was just like a hideout for all of these creatures and organic life forms.
Yeah.
And, like the space pirates were just kind of using it to hide.
It was a space pirate hideout, so obviously it was like an abandoned. It was like the mountains of Afghanistan or something.
Exactly.
That was Zebes.
That was Zebes, right? Exactly. That was the purpose of that planet, right? It was to be off the radar because it was so undeveloped. In this one, the whole thing is that the Chozo have lived here for centuries, and they have built this civilization that has pretty much fallen at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to know...
Okay, well, guess I'm not exploring up there for a little bit.
If more of the story is explained and kind of seeing what the fuck happened to this planet, or if there's something I missed.
Well, actually, weirdly enough, now that I think about it, I'm trying to think here. They explain a lot more about the Chozo, but they don't necessarily explain what happened, like that makes this place so empty, other than the guy that beat you up at the beginning of the game, the final boss, is just kind of a dick and like he's gone mad with power. Like I think that's just kind of what you're led to assume.
Okay.
They really don't give you much beyond that.
Sometimes that's how it is.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like, I don't know, a movie like Prometheus or something where it's just like, okay,
And that was true about Super Metroid too. You picked up all of the story in that game contextually. Just
in the game, non-verbally, yeah.
Right.
Almost all of it after the first 5 minutes.
This game does have its share of cutscenes, but but by and large, it still retains that same errors as Super Metroid.
Like Prime 3 had its cutscenes, and it kind of felt like Halo. This has had a lot of cutscenes, and it's more like they're mostly non-verbal cutscenes. It feels like, I do not call this a horror game, but it's almost like a cutscene of the liquor for the first time. Those are the cutscenes in this game.
Why am I not getting this?
Why do you suck? You stink, loser.
I do. What is happening here?
There you go. Or a tiny bit more.
What am I missing right now?
You're right here. Oh shit! Come on.
This is like not a thing.
One more tiny half step. Are you still gonna hit that bottom one?
Wow!
Oh fuck!
What was
And I thought that was gonna like Final Destination on your head or something.
No,
like...
I didn't have anything remotely like that happen my entire first playthrough. I've never had difficulty lining up my shot with those 3 dots. Like, I wasn't aware that could happen. Like,
That could happen until just now.
It has been so seamless the entire time I've played this game that I just assumed that, you know, if you fired in the general vicinity of those things, you were going to hit all 3 dots.
Yeah.
Huh.
Also, I just noticed something because I was mistaken the last time you were playing. I was like, oh, you can't wall jump on the same wall.
Oh, you can with the blues.
Just with the blues.
Just
okay.
with the blues, because there's like a gravity
I noticed you doing that,
there.
and I was like, he's only been doing it on the blues, but is that anywhere?
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
No, it's not anywhere. Like, if you do it on a regular wall, you'll be too far away to jump back on. I think they do it with the blues because you're meant to scale them quickly, and they're kind of like escape routes.
Okay.
Where the hell am I going right now? What did I get from...
You got a morph ball.
Okay, I warped here, and now somehow I found myself all the way back over here. I think over here? I think. We're about out of time for this episode, but...
The thing I saw, that was you on the map, right? It wasn't your ship or something?
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, that's you.
My ship... all the way up there.
Okay.
Oh, well. Hold on a tick. Alright, yeah, I guess we're going this way. I think we're getting pretty close to the Various suit, if I remember correctly.
Oh, nice.
Which I would love to see this episode, but I'm not sure. Well, now... Alright, so now it becomes like, let's look at the map and see where these things are.
Oh, what are those?
That's a plasma door. That's a super bomb.
A dead ninja.
A dead ninja, yep.
It looks like he has X's for eyes, but he has like that Lego ninja face.
You're weirdly not wrong. Okay, I think I want to go up here with the morph ball.
Okay.
I think I just took a massive...
You see something like that trail off.
I took a massive detour, I'm pretty sure. This episode will go 5 minutes long, but we're getting the damn Various suit. Better save just for safety's sake. Safety dance. Oh. Okay. Yep. Boy, Chris. Talk about ignoring the obvious, huh?
It's gonna happen.
I probably could have easily taken that damage, but I didn't want to. Ow. Fuck you. Fuck that guy.
What opens those doors? Is that plasma?
Super missiles.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, they kind of do sort of look like that.
They are green.
They're green. Excuse me.
This part's cool. I just activated something that is not good to activate.
She's getting flashbacks to planets exploding.
Yeah, that's straight up what's happening. I kind of like how they added a second one of these here. Ooh, you gotta be fast.
Yeah, it's cool.
Or faster than I'm being. Oh! See how they fuck with you a little bit?
Yeah.
Alright, we made it. Those blue things, by the way, are grapple points, so you can pull those out of there with your grapple beam when you get it. Alright. Oh, look, a door that's, the only way I can go is through this door where there's too much heat. I better go up here first. Oh, yeah!
Nice.
The various suit looks really cool in this game. I like the hybrid suit. So like part organic, part mechanical. And the stronger Samus gets, the more mechanical they look. The gravity suit almost looks
nice.
Almost looks exactly like it did in the classic games, with just like a touch of like the organic parts still showing.
Okay, cool. Like she's getting back to herself.
Exactly. Yeah, like she's slowly getting as powered up as she was like at the end of Super Metroid.
Yeah.
Before got infected and whatnot.
Yeah, before that.
Before she caught the AIDS.
Yeah. Oh my god. Wow.
That would be horrible, wouldn't it? I knew something had changed. I had
definitely seeing people getting sick lately, and having to go through rehab and everything. Like, terrible.
Try to make me go to rehab, and I said no, no, no. I figured that was worth it.
Yeah. Still weird that the various suit doesn't protect you from lava, but the gravity suit does.
Yeah, isn't that a strange thing? In this one, oh, Chris, I knew from having just been in this room that there was nothing I needed, and yet I went for it. And yet I went for it, Max.
Yeah, you gotta do it. Just gotta sometimes.
Don't have bombs, Chris.
Right?
it'll be a little bit before we get bombs too.
You are like 2 hours into this game, and you don't have bombs.
Nope. Whereas Super Metroid, we're talking like what, first 10 minutes?
First like 15 minutes, you got bombs.
Hello. Yeah, you are outfitted with both the morph ball and like those were your main ways of traversal. Whereas in this game, you definitely use the slide mechanic, and you use plenty of wall jumps. And so now here's what's really cool. You know how we just collapsed like a whole part of that warehouse? Well, look, now we can't go back out this way. So it makes us teleport. Like you're kind of wondering where to go. It gives you a little context clue. You have to go back to Kataris. So, well, boy, cool. There's a lot of lava or heat rooms in here, and I just got the various suits. So
yeah.
Should probably, hint, make explore this area.
Yeah, should see, why not? I don't know what else to do. Yeah.
Right. Alright, so let's get to a save point here, and we'll next time on Play the Hits. I hope you're still having fun here.
Oh, yeah. Nintendo's so good at not holding your hand, which they definitely will in some games.
Oh, yeah, like, it kind of makes you wonder, like, from 2000 to 2015, like, why they had to make games the way...
Yeah.
Like it's almost like they resigned themselves to being the game company for kids. And they forgot that didn't have to mean making your games too damn easy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we just got a +10 missile.
Nice.
37 to 47, that's going to make a huge fucking difference.
Zelda did it very well, where you could do whatever you want,
yep.
But they made things so tempting, like seeing shrines from half a world away.
That, I think, was the biggest weakness of Skyward Sword. Was the one Zelda game I can think of where they really held your hand from start to finish.
Way too much.
Like, to the point where even the dungeons in that game were all only one floor.
Yeah.
That was such a weird thing, but
well, hey. So yeah, there was some. I feel like they weren't water temples, but they were more than one floor.
No,
sometimes.
They weren't. Like if you go back and look at that game, like they had a whole bunch of different rooms, but but in order to keep you from getting lost, they straight up didn't do multiple tiers.
I remember they weren't.
It was all a single floor map. Like if you opened,
you wouldn't get lost in them. Yeah,
you could get lost in them, but if you opened up your map, you didn't have to scroll between levels. It was all like one.
Okay, yeah.
Plane.
But I remember there were some. Wasn't there one where?
I'm not saying they didn't have verticality. I'm saying that there wasn't like a floor 1, a floor 2, and a floor 3.
And like figuring out puzzles and dropping and stuff like that between them. Yeah. You're right. There was nothing like that. It was definitely simplified.
Yep. Anyway, yeah.
And that was so sad when one of the one of the things with the remaster was all the quality of life. Like that was a big selling point. They're putting it in their trailers that, oh, Fee does not speak as much to you. It's like, that's a fucking sad thing you have to advertise.
And like basically we fixed our kind of janky Wii controls that we really, really wanted to be the future. But
yeah, and it's like signing them to the sticks. It's like, hey, that works really well.
Yep.
You could have done that.
You could have, but you didn't. Max, next time on Play the Hits, we're going to dive even deeper into this bad boy.
All right. Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
I put us at about a third of the way through the game.
Nice. Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah, so still
maybe a quarter. Anyway, we'll see you next time.
All right. See you then.